Hello, people, once again, Teacher Alpha here. Welcome to yet another video regarding bearings. In this video, we'll be looking at basic questions regarding bearings based on the first video that we looked at. In the first video, we looked at the introduction to bearing, and this is now is a second video regarding bearings. So if you have not watched the first video, I do encourage that you do, because everything I'll explain will be based on the previous video. So please be sure to check it out. Thank you. All right. The question says the diagram below shows the bearing of A from B. A from B. So from B going to A. From B going to A. So they've told us that the bearing is 60. Okay. Nice. All right. Nice. Now, like I told you last time, it's important to understand what does it mean if we say B from A. What does this statement mean? This is the key to everything. It unlocks what has to be done. So in this case, B from A, it means that we must sketch a north at the starting point if there isn't at A. So you sketch a north of A. So A is the destination, A is the origin or the starting point. So allow me to sketch a north at A, like that. Ah, excellent. Excellent. So we have sketched the north at the origin. Don't forget that A is our origin, where we are starting from. In our local language, kwetiambila. So tiambila ku A, tizunguruka pa kwenda ku B. So now that we have sketched a north at A, now we are going to move clockwise. Clockwise is like that. Don't ever move in the opposite direction, anti-clockwise. It's wrong. Bearings always supports the principle of rotating clockwise. Yes, excellent. That is what we call clockwise. Eh? So we are going to rotate clockwise from this north line all the way there. Nice. Why have I ended on this line? Is because it's taking me to my destination. So the key is when you make the rotation, you should end on the line that is taking you to the destination. In this case, AB is taking me to my destination B. That's why I ended on the second line. That's the key. Now let's go back to alternate angles. We said alternate angles, they form what shape? N. So in our example, we are told that we have an angle 60 degrees there. So if that angle is 60 degrees, then it means that this one is also what? 60 degrees. Okay. They are alternate what? Angles. We learned that in the first video. They are alternate what? Angles. And alternate angles form an N shape. So if that angle there is 60, it means that this one here also is also 60. Now, don't forget that this one here, this one here is a straight line. A straight line goes up to how much? 180 degrees. Are you with me? Don't forget. Don't forget that part of this bearing here is a straight line. And straight lines add up to how much? 180. So we can answer this bearing in two ways. So I'll say method one. Method one, I can use alternate angles. So method one, we're using alternate angles. So to find this bearing here, Okay, to find that bearing there, I'll just add 60 and 180. That's all. And I'm done. That's method one. So 0, 8 plus 6, that's 14. So it's 4 carry 1. 1 plus 1 is giving me 2. So my bearing there is 240 degrees. Now, let's try to work with supplementary angles. Let us try to work with supplementary angles. So that's method 2. So method 2, let's work with supplementary angles. Okay, let's try to work with supplementary angles. Okay, let's try to work with supplementary angles. Let's see what we get. Okay, okay. So first method we worked with alternate angles. This time let's try to work with um, supplementary angles. So we said supplementary angles, they form a U shape. So we said these two angles inside, for example, if I have 40, how do I find x? I'll just subtract 180 minus 40, which gives me 140. Okay, so anytime you see a U shape being formed, it means the angles inside the U add up to 180. So that's supplementary. So now let's look at our bearing. Remember, we are finding this angle, this bearing outside. So with supplementary angles, what we can do is, firstly, we can calculate this angle here. I'll call this angle X. So we can find angle X, then we can find the exterior angle here that is showing. Okay. So the question is, how do we find X there? Okay. We have noticed that we've got two north lines there and they are parallel and there's a U shape being formed. So 60 and X are forming a U shape. So to find the X, we're just going to say 180 minus 60, it gives us 120 what degrees. Now bear in mind that's not the final answer, that's just part of the answer. So that 120 degrees is this angle here. Okay, now you're going to realize that 120 and the bearing, this one, the one outside we are looking for, is adding up to 360 because it's forming a full circle. So what are we going to say? So the last thing you're going to do is you're going to say 360 minus the angle that you got. So it's 0. 6 minus 2, that is 4. 3 minus 1, that is 2. So you're going to realize that this bearing outside here is 240 degrees, whether you use alternate angles or supplementary. Okay, nice. Nice. Interesting. That was laka. That was nice. That was awesome. Okay. Now, math is real easy, guys, but it can become very daunting if you don't know. That's the only problem with mathematics. All right. Let's look at the next example. So, next question, what does it say? Find the bearing of D from C. So C is our origin. So what are we going to do? We're going to sketch a north at the starting point there. So let's sketch a north at the starting point there. Nice. Yes. Have you seen that? We have sketched a north at the starting point C, at the origin. So secret? No. Which one is the origin or starting point and which one is the destination? So it means we're going to rotate from C going to D now. That's what it means. Okay. So let's rotate. Don't move like this, it's wrong. You always move in clockwise direction. Always move clockwise. Please don't forget. So we're going to So this is the north of C. There's the north of D. So we're going to rotate clockwise. Ba, up to that point. Are we together? Excellent. Now, the question is, how do you find this angle? Let's use two methods. Let's start with alternating angles. Now, let me show you something. This angle here is 180. Then, this angle from there to there is the same as that angle there. Okay. So, this angle there and this angle are always equivalent. So, in short, if we apply that same technique here, if I split the 310 degrees into two parts, we're going to realize that part of the 310 here, this angle here, is 180 degrees. Okay. Now, you're going to realize that this angle here, you're going to realize that this angle here and this angle here, they are equal. So how the question is, how do you find that angle there? Okay, so 310 is the full angle here. So to find this angle, you just say we're using method one. Method one, we're using alternate angles again. So to find this angle that is showing in blue here, this angle here, we subtract the 310 from 180 from 310. So we're going to say 310 minus 180. Okay. Uh-huh. So 180. So 0 minus 0 is 0. 1 minus 8 it can't. So it's we get a 1 from 3. We're having 11 there. So 11 minus 8, that's 9, 10, 11. So you're getting 3, 2. So 2, sorry, 2 minus 1, you're getting 1. So meaning this angle here is 130 degrees. So this 130 and 130 there are always equal. They are alternating angles. Remember, don't forget 130, 130. Okay. So we have used alternate angles. So we have found our answer. We have found our answer. Okay. What if we tried to work with supplementary? Okay. Okay, let's try method 2. Let's try supplementary. I'm showing you both methods, then you have to choose which one you have to work with. But it's important that you know both. Alright, so if we decide to use method 2, then we need to find this angle here that's showing in red. When you get these two angles, they add up to 180 because they are forming a U shape. That angle, that bearing you're looking for, and that angle here, X and Y, they add up to 180. It's a U shape, I know. Don't forget. Excellent. So now the first thing we're going to do is find the angle here at D. How do you find the angle here at D? Okay, you're going to realize it's forming a full circle. So to find the angle at D, All you have to do there, my people, is say 360 minus 310. What do you get? 0, that is 5. So you're getting how much there? So we're getting 50 degrees there. Then you're also going to realize that, okay, this angle x and 50 here, these two angles, they're inside the u. Angles inside the u add up to 180. So how do you find the bearing? So because these two angles add up to 180, we're saying 180 minus 50 degrees. So 0, 8 minus 5 is what? 3, 1 there. So we're getting 130 degrees. We're getting 130 degrees. So you see that we're finding the same bearing. Okay. So our bearing there is 130 degrees. Okay. Let's look at the last question. Let me start with B. So with B, I'll just stick to one method for the sake of time. Again, what do we do? B from A. B from A. So you sketch a north at A. Uh-huh. So we have sketched a north line at A there. Why A is the starting point there. So what are we going to do? So we have got two north lines there. So we're going to move clockwise from A going to B. So I'll rotate. Okay. Using alternating angles, okay, you're going to realize that this angle here and that angle are the same. So if it's 130 there, then it's 130 there. Okay. Then because this is a straight line this side, it adds up to 180. So I've just used alternate angles. So you can use supplementary if you like, just to find the same answer. So 180 plus 130, it gives us 310 degrees. So that is our answer there. So we found our bearing there. It's 310 degrees. Okay. Uh the next question is saying find the bearing of B from C. So our origin there is what? C. So remember, so I've sketched the north at C. Now at that point, all we have to do is rotate clockwise from C going to B. Okay. Now question is how do we find this angle here? Angle at C there or the bearing? Well, it's very easy. All we have to do firstly is we must get this angle here first. That was the secret. So first we have to get the angle here at B first. When you get the angle at B, you can find the angle at C. That's how it is. Now you're going to realize that B, 120 and 130, they all add up to 360 because they are forming a full circle. Are you seeing that? Okay. Let me show you like this. So they're forming a full circle. So we have to find that angle first, the one in red, the angle at B. So this angle here. So how do we find that angle? So all we do first, step number one is 360 minus the sum of those two angles, 120 plus 130. So 360 minus 250. When you subtract these two values, it gives us 110 degrees. Okay. So in short, this angle there is 110 degrees. Now, after we get the 110, we're going to carry out one more step to find this bearing at C. Now, so C and 110 are inside the U. Don't forget, if it's a U, these two angles add up to 180 degrees. They add up to 180 degrees. Okay. So meaning 110 and angle C add up to 180 degrees. So now look at this. The last thing you're going to do is say 180 minus 110 is going to give us 070 degrees. Remember, a bearing must always be 3 digits. So if you write bearing like this, it's wrong. If you write it like this, it is correct. All right. So bearings are slightly different from normal angles because of that. Thank you so much. We have come to the end of this second lesson of bearing.